Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Let's Play Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. Uh, we've basically finished interviewing, I think, all of the employees that are currently here in the gardens. So we're gonna be poking around a little
From
bit.
here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
Hmm. How about
This is one of the
ventilation?
outlets of the ventilation system.
Yes.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the
Right. Is there anything else of interest here closed by itself? Didn't realize they had automatic windows, during this time period, but hey, whatever. The nursery. Let's check the nursery.
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
Let's see if there's any evidence that was removed. Really? I can't open this cupboard? Is that it? There's gotta be something here. There's gotta be something else here. Really? Maybe I won't be able to... Maybe I won't be able to find anything here until later, until after I talk to someone. Oh. The bust. Ah. Of course. They did an awful job of disposing evidence, if this is evidence. Awful job.
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place.
I think it will. I'm pretty sure it will.
Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Yeah. Sloppy job, folks. Sloppy job for whoever just left this lying around for me to see, especially now that I was given the keys.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Anything else? Aha. Watson, Watson.
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
So that murderer could keep tabs on, what's his name, on Montague.
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
Convenient that these open windows are right by the work desks.
A glasses case. It is empty.
Whose glasses? Oh, this is Hamish's. Whatever, Hamish's. I'm thinking Hunger Games. Hamish's, because he's the one who wears glasses around
A
here.
thesis written
Yep.
by Martin Hamish.
Yep.
This
so-
area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Right. Right. Which would be very incriminating. That's his office, where he can see. It happens to be his desk that he can see of the clear view of the collection room.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing. But it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens.
Exhibition of garden plants horticultural competition.
This certificate belongs
Winner.
to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
So he knows what he's doing. Okay. Oh, orchids! My mom's favorite flowers are orchids. Such beautiful flowers. No, I already did. I already looked at this. I wanted to look at I already looked at the window. Okay.
Locked.
Not anymore. Alright.
Locked.
Not anymore. Huh. Laboratory table. Wet bottle trace.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Perhaps the poison. Sloppy. Oh,
Gold
drops.
dust. Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
Immune,
Why would
eh?
anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Because they're trying to murder someone. Come on. Stay with me, Watson. Pay attention. Stay with me.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
Hmm.
Several drops of the bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Yes, we need Toby. Toby One Kenobi. I will get to him shortly. After I continue investigating. Botanical. University of Cambridge.
A
Botanical
botany
section.
book.
I see that. Albert Dunn. Repeat year. Albert wasn't very... He wasn't very stellar in his botanical
This
studies.
student's book belongs to Albert.
Repeat year. And his dad was not very happy about that. How dare you not be good at the things that I'm good at? Hazmat suit? Are you my mummy?
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here.
It's Quarians. The Quarian suits. No, not quite.
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals.
Yes, like pesticides.
Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Uh-huh. According to Hamish, no, but he may not necessarily be aware of it.
This
Or
is
he's
a
lying.
table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
Thank you, Watson. I appreciate that.
A
Phonograph.
phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Ah.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory.
Ooh, convenient. Maybe somebody was recording their notes.
Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
So Martin Hamish knows about these.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Interesting. Chemicals.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
Wagner's reagent? Yeah, there's a lot of very interesting and incriminating things in this room,
The employee's cloakroom.
which I don't have access to right now. But maybe Miss White would let
Locked.
me in.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
I know.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Exactly. I was going to say, yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, Holmes. It's like, whatever. My lockpicking skills. What the? Oh. This one has to line up here. Yeah. And this one's a little tricky. Oh. Ah. I was about to say, I was like, what? Okay. Interesting. This one's a little trickier. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is a really tricky one. All right. See, I think I got the left side figured out. The right side. It looks like that belongs there. And then that belongs there. Okay. Gosh, that one was tough. That one was really tough. Sheesh. Oh, finally got it though. Very tough. Thank goodness. Okay. Cloakroom. Miss White's locker. Okay, this is the person I want to look at first. Look at Miss White's first.
locker.
White. Personal effects. Let's nosy.
A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Letter to her family. Dear Mother and Father, I am writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? Margaret. There's nothing wrong with asking your parents for money, but this girl, just looking at her letter and the way that she talks, she just seems so manipulative. Like, read this. Would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? It just seems so... She seems very presumptuous and manipulative. And that's what makes her still... solidifies even more that I think she's the murderer. Wow. I need to search the archives, I need to talk to someone about the marble fragment. A list of exotic stolen plants. Yes. Symbol in a broken flower pot found in the backyard. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. This glyph means divine, if I'm not mistaken. Marble fragment picked up from the floor of the colonial collection room. Judging by its form and refinement, is probably part of a statue or sculpture. And find a use. A set of keys open all the doors of Kew Gardens except the one in the cloakroom. So, yeah. What else does she have? Oh, her jewels.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
Yeah, and yet she's complaining about she doesn't have the money. See, this is how what I'm saying. Manipulative. She claims she doesn't have the money, and yet...
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student.
Yes. Very suspicious.
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
She's really broke for cash. Instead of asking her parents for money, she could just, sell the jewelry. Family's reply. Wait a minute. Wait. If she sent the letter to her family and got a reply back, why is the letter still in here? That doesn't make any sense. Game, how does that happen? Did she make a copy of the letter? Was that just a draft of her letter? But if it was a draft of her letter, why is she keeping it in her cupboard? Why don't she just toss if I hadn't had a draft, I would just toss it. I'd throw it away. So, like, that can't be the original letter that she sent to her family unless her family returned her letter back, which doesn't make any sense. I don't understand, game. Logically, how did I get a letter to her family? Unless, wait, is this the reply to a response to a different letter? Margaret, we were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money? Yeah, it's the same letter. Unless she asked for letter, unless this is the reply, unless she's asking a second time. Okay, I guess that's the only way I could explain it logically in my head, is if she asked her parents for money the first time, sent them the letter, which is why it's not in this cupboard, And then she got this response back. So this is the first response she gets back from her family. And then she wrote a second letter to her family. That's the only way I can think of that this would make any sense. How could you think to ask us for money after all of these years that have passed since you left, and without any thought of us? You have never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now? We suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Ah, yes. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done. And none of us have ever compromised their reputation, as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who make us feel ashamed. Your parents. Wow. Well, good on them. Good on the parents. Good on them. Miss Margaret is a beautiful young lady who appears moderately wealthy. Nevertheless, her hands can be seen to be marked by tiny brown dots, these caused by pellagra, a condition that emerges after a prolonged period of malnutrition. They reveal that her childhood was a poor and unhappy one. However, the sign of wealth that we see clearly indicates a significant change in her life. It doesn't give you the right to murder someone, honey, or to act as nasty and manipulative as you do. I mean, more power to you to try to pull yourself and find yourself a better life, but not at this cost, in my opinion. Yeah, I already read this. Okay. What else? What else? Albert's letter to Miss White. Dear Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you at this present time. Please let me reassure you that I could not permit you to remain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you might accept my help. Your devoted servant, Albert. Dun dun dun. You might have to talk to Albert about this.
Martin Hamish's locker.
Let's see here.
Martin Hamish
books.
studied chemistry. Interesting.
That's definitely suspicious. Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens oblige me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montague Dunn was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and so I was happy to comply. But now the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as a matter of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead and free my mind from this uncertainty. Yes, he definitely is very much interested in taking over.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Yes. I love how I'm doing this without a search warrant. I'm so breaking the law left and right. I love how while we're trying to find suspects of a murder, we're breaking the law left
Father
and right.
and I. Kew Gardens.
Oh, his father. I'm just taking his stuff. I love how all these people discover that Sherlock was poking his nose into their business, and then when I confront them about it, they're like, they don't care. They don't complain about, infringing on privacy or whatever.
Albert's locker.
And I'm gonna use my RE glasses in a moment.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert
does.
Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
So he should just sell the Kew Gardens, sell it to Hamish. I don't care. He should do what he wants. He clearly wants to do. He's more interested in ships than he is in plants. So he should.
A rejection
go after
letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Maybe that's why he can't. Because he got rejected. Royal Navy School of NCO's Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Dunn, has expressed his intention to entrust you to the directorship of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew, and it is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, J.M. Lamarck, Director of the Royal Navy Training Center. So he could have been accepted. He had the credentials. He said we have excellent results with our entry examinations. It's just my father, or his father, basically influenced them somehow to not accept him, which is, in my opinion, pretty darn underhanded for a father to do. Does that mean that his son would have murdered him for it? I don't know. Assuming that he did, again, it doesn't make sense, because now that his father is dead, he can reapply. He can, now that his father is dead, he can apply again to the Royal Navy. But if he, and then, I don't understand. If he murdered his father, then he would not say, I'm going to take over the gardens. He would not say, I'm going to take over the gardens now, because his motive for killing his father would be to get into the Navy. So if he wanted to get into the Navy, why is he taking over the gardens? So that's another reason why. This only reinforces my stance on it not being Albert. Because, yeah, the only reason why I think he would stay in the gardens is because he genuinely is mourning for his father, and he feels it is his duty to not go after this Navy job and instead take over the Kew Gardens and all that good stuff. I don't know. That's just... all these clues are not incriminating. They're just, in my opinion, they are proving his innocence even more. What do we have here?
A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
Yeah, so they went to school
And
together.
they seem to get along.
Right, so they seem to be close. We're not sure how close they are. Close enough for them to be in cahoots with each other to murder. Because I don't think Albert has a background in poisons or chemicals, so he would need someone to help. Which may, if he was trying to kill his father, he might have gotten in cahoots with Miss White. But maybe Miss White was sympathetic toward Albert, and she decided to kill off Mr. Dunn on her own. Let's go talk to Albert. About you and Miss White. White. Oh,
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
perceive.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Don't
Are
lie to
you
me,
quite
Albert.
sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
Don't lie to me.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
That's not true, sir. Oh, the divine. That's a symbol of a ship. The divine. No? Oh, whoops. Select the correct answer. Whoops.
I perceive that you are
Passion?
Yeah.
Are you
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Alright, I messed up that one. They're not gonna let me fail that one. There we go.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Because I was
Oh,
snooping
you
into
truly
your
are as
stuff.
clever as they say.
No.
Yes, that's correct.
No.
And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
I feel so bad for you.
Thank you,
I feel
young
bad
man.
for him.
We shall see you again soon.
I'm like, no, Holmes isn't clever. He was underhanded. He broke into your personal effects without your permission and without a warrant to directly find the letter. And that's how we found out about the Navy stuff. It wasn't because he cleverly figured it out on his own. He had to, yeah, well, anyway. Brant, I can't write about that anymore right now. Holmes. Albert's ambition. After the death of his father, Albert now feels a responsibility to manage Kew Gardens. Miss White's family refused to assist her financially with her studies. They disliked Montague Dunn, believing him to be libertine. Albert Dunn has promised to continue his family support. Montague Dunn inhaled a virulent vegetal poison that was intended to kill him. Miss Margaret White studies biology in the London University. She enjoys the work and has a talent for it. Her specialization is exotic plants. Albert's humiliation. Montague Dunn thwarted his son's dream of joining the noble Royal Navy, which is horrible for a father to do, in my opinion. Albert was humiliated by his father on many occasions, most recently the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. Miss White studies and poisoning? Oh, I would have think that would have gone together. How about Albert's ambitions, Albert's humiliation? Albert's motive. Yeah, I know Albert has a motive. I mean, all three of these people have motives. It's just that Albert, based on his actions and what he's been saying, it just does not point to him being the killer. Albert had a motive to kill his father, Montague Dunn. Dunn had thwarted Albert's dream of joining the Royal Navy. By killing his father, Albert could have his revenge and eventually succeed in his father's place as the director of the Kew Gardens. Okay. I'm not convinced, game. You may try to convince me that it's Albert, but you're failing. You're doing the opposite. It seems like evidence that they're trying to give me to point the finger at Albert is actually doing the opposite, ironically. I need to talk to you.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
No, that's not right. Photographs with father.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right
Exactly.
Do
Thank
tell
you.
us more about your
No,
father.
no, Holmes, you didn't have the right to do that.
Indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Gotcha. I get it. No, Holmes, he's actually right. Unless I don't understand, the British law back in the day, which could very well be the case. I mean, things could be a lot different than it is now. But to my understanding, Holmes did not have the right to go through his things and grab that photo because he didn't have his permission, he didn't have his warrant, and according to Holmes, he didn't even tell Lestrade about this. He is solving this mystery on his own without informing the police that he's doing it. He doesn't have authorization from Scotland Yard at all, it seems. Like, for all I know, they didn't even know that he went down they didn't necessarily know that he went down into the autopsy room and started plugging away and slicing the victim. I don't know. Well, I think they probably knew he was doing that because I think he requested to have Montague's body put into the autopsy room. But still, I don't think that Holmes has the authorization. And he just kind of cuts him off. It's like, yeah, because Holmes knows that he didn't have the right legally. He didn't legally have the authorization. So he just takes advantage of the situation to change the subject and cut him off. I don't know how I feel about that, guys.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing.
Yes,
Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
Mm-hmm.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
No. Fragment from a statue.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently.
My dear Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Alright guys, I'm a little bit over time, so I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Until then, love yourselves and love each other.